So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Jacob Rees-Mogg promises to cut red tape, and now this man, not only has he asked Sun readers for help with his homework, now he's asking businesses for help with their homework. And the irony is he's gone to Felixstowe, the I think what is the biggest port in the UK, which has an enormous amount of red tape now because of Brexit, and he's gone there to say, what can we do to help you out, boss? So Rees-Mogg said Brexit was already a success. Where are the wins then, fam? Where are the wins? If it's already a success, what's the point of your job? Why do we need a Brexit Opportunities Minister if Brexit's already a success? It doesn't make sense. And that he would be working to cut through the thicket of red tape. If it's already a success, what more do you have to do, big man? We're going to be covering another article, which is essentially Jacob Rees-Mogg, the Brexit man without a Brexit plan. So subscribe for that. But Mogg visiting the port of Felixstowe, Suffolk's Chamber of Commerce said paperwork was hindering trade. So Rees-Mogg, when are you going to get rid of the red tape for exports and imports, huh? There's a thicket of red tape. Everyone, write into Rees-Mogg and tell him that, at the start of the year, we've had massive problems and red tape around importing goods. And at the start of last year, we had massive red tape around exporting goods. What can you do about them? Koyas Mia of the Suffolk Chamber of Commerce said many members had seen a rise in the cost of administration and rules being interpreted by different EU countries was not helping. Isn't it surprising that EU member states can decide their rules around imports, around pallets and things like that? Isn't that amazing? I thought Brussels controlled everything, and now we find out they don't. Amazing. The paperwork, understanding what the firms need to do and how they need to do so is becoming a challenge, said Mr. Mia. Don't worry, mate, Mr. Mia, Koyas Mia, don't worry, because Rees-Mogg is there to cut the red tape. So he's going to make life easier for you guys. News just in, Rees-Mogg is one of the key reasons why we have all this red tape. Oh, that's not very good, is it? What businesses are now facing is one EU country saying they want XYZ for paperwork, but the other EU country wants something completely different. It's almost like these are individual sovereign states and can set up their own rules for imports for third countries. Imagine. Crazy. He said the Chamber of Commerce has heard from businesses that have stopped trading with EU countries for now because of the problems with compliance, because of all the different rules. He has called for the Brexit minister to bring more clarity in terms of what needs to be done. I mean, he's not going to be able to help you out with that. He's asking Sun readers for help. Mogg promised he would be tackling the issues of compliance. How are you going to do that? How are you going to make France, Belgium, Germany change their rules around imports for third countries? I can't wait to hear what he comes out with on that, because I don't think he's going to publish anything on it. We don't want to replace a European bureaucracy with a homegrown bureaucracy. That is exactly what you've done, though, because of all the import checks that have to happen, because of the most favourable nations rule under the WTO. My role is to try and cut through the thicket. My role as the Brexit Opportunities Minister is to find out where regulations exist that we don't need and try and get rid of them. You've had, a long time to get started with this. You've had since the end of 2019. What have you been doing for the last year and a bit then? Mogg cited the pandemic and general disruption to global trade, such as containers stuck in world ports, as some of the reasons behind the drop in trade rather than leaving the EU. Of course it is, yeah. Only a peasant like me wouldn't know that. I think Brexit has been extremely beneficial for the country. But how? He's saying Brexit has caused trade drops have been few and far between. But we know that the UK is, this article from last year, 2021, right? Britain is on course to lose its status as one of Germany's top 10 trading partners this year for the first time since 1950, as Brexit trade barriers drive firms in Europe's largest economy to look for business elsewhere. And we've even talked about stories how there was a system, where British farmers would export pork to Germany, it'd be processed there, turned into sausages, and then imported back into the UK, which has simply become unviable because of the export checks, needed for those pigs going to the EU. And so what's happened is Germany have started buying those pigs from Denmark because there's no red tape there. Crazy, isn't it? In the first 6 months of this year, German imports of British goods sank nearly 11% year on year to 16.1 billion euros. Federal Statistics Office data reviewed by Reuters. while German exports to Britain rose by 2.6% to 32 billion. So we can see here, despite the pandemic, German exports actually rose to Britain in 2021 because we weren't doing import checks back then. We are now, and German exports to the UK are slowly starting to drop off. We're only within the first 2 months, so we're going to have to wait for more figures to come out, but it's already not looking great. A December 2020 survey of Germany's BGA trade association showed 1 in 5 companies were reorganising supply chains to swap out British suppliers for others in the EU. That was back in 2020. That was before we started doing. That's because of the export checks. Essentially, 1 in 5. So 20% of German companies that were surveyed in this trade association were already looking at moving supply chains out of Britain. No doubt that number will go up as more and more of them get stung by this. So what you can see here is in 2021, without the UK doing import checks, exports to Germany, exports from Germany went up. So essentially, UK imports of German goods actually rose, which is crazy because, you know, this man's blaming, you know, what's he saying here? Containers stuck in world ports as a reason, rather than leaving the EU. Yet, you know, our exports to Germany have fallen dramatically, whilst German exports to Britain actually rose. One side was doing import checks, and the other side was not. This man's an absolute spin merchant, and the fact that the BBC do no fact-checking in these articles really, really irritates me. They just cite the man verbatim, no fact-checking, no actual analysis. It's crazy that the BBC keep doing this. There's no even both sides. Where's the other side of this argument? You know, the BBC can't argue, oh, we're impartial, you know, we only give both sides of the argument representation, all this stuff, right? Where's the other side to the argument? I genuinely don't understand the BBC. You know, what was a great organisation is just rubbish. Absolute rubbish. But yeah, you know, we've got Brexit Man essentially saying he's going to cut red tape and now asking businesses for help. These Brexit wins already there to see, yet he can't actually cite any. Crazy, isn't it? No doubt he'll probably say, oh, it's the vaccine rollout, which we know is a lie. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there before this man makes all my hair fall out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.